Alo, pokea simu, penzi baby. Alo, nakupenda sana. Alo mama, alo, wapi baby, mapenzi tamu. Alo, nakutaka sana. Oh mama, Asante sana for joining us for another classic episode of the Weekend Edition. I'm your host, Dr. Kingori. I don't even want to mention how much of an eventful one this has been. This week, Dennis Itumbe released images of Kenya Kwanza's preparations for the Deputy President's debate. But everybody, sadly, everybody missed Rigathi stylist, who was right in the room with a sample of his best work. Like, nothing happens in politics, and this you need to know, nothing happens in politics by accident. Hizo suti za DP nyinyi you enjoy ni vitu ame practice. In fact, here's a fact most people don't know. Hizo suti za Rigathi, hiyo space mnaonanga ni space ya independence. So make fun of the DP all you want, but this week he was in charge of the whole country when President William Ruto left the country to attend Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, and people made a fuss of the visit after a picture of African leaders taking a bus ride ilitokea. Kuangeni serious mazi. Nani ajui Afrika watu wenda matanga na basi? And it seems like the new government is all about hitting the ground running and fixing the problems Kenyans are facing, because after alitoka matanga, President akaenda straight ku address UNGA. As in the United Nations General Assembly. Alafu leo we have to make time. We have to make time for a conversation ya leo. Tuko na conversation noma sana. It's a topic that has been widely discussed, very emotively kwanza for that matter, for the past few weeks. Hii mambo ya treatment of Kenyan workers in the Middle East countries. Now, one of the confusing headlines on this story was when Diana Chepkemoi was brought back into the country following a public uproar, and then wakati anaingia, there was another group of girls getting ready to board a flight to go to the same country she was coming from. Now, we have discussed structured labor export before, where we had a very insightful conversation with Dr. Juma Mukwana on what can be done to maximize on opportunities ziko abroad and outside the country, and we promised to follow up that conversation na situation vile iko kwa ground. But before tuingie kwa situation yenye iko kwa ground mzima, I got word that Alvan Love, you know Alvan?
We, wananchi, wanakufinywa, wanateseka. There is a new phobia in town. Sijui kama wewe imekushika. Let me activate it for you kama haijakushika. Kujeni tuogope. Come. Nataka uimagine mafuta ya kupika imeisha. Halafu gas ishe. Halafu Subaru Icon E imeisha mafuta. Halafu ukose usikie sauti ya token. Sasa mtu atatoa wapi 1 million?
Yeah, in the present day world, that's horror TikTok. Nimwambia anaitwa, wala wamjui anaitwa Alvan Love, but sijui kama umjui unaishi Kenya gani, juu na hii economy lazima uko unamjua. Yes, him. Kumbe in his own capacity, he had set up a structure to come through for Kenyans going through hard times in the Middle East, and he has some very interesting vibes about that. We reached out to him, and he agreed to be the guest on this episode. So Alvan Love is in the house. Sawa. Unajua unafaa upatiwe title ya Safara number 1.
Really?
Kwa sababu you present the Safara situation vizuri sana. Unajua you could be talking about that, wasa wana digest kama jokes, but very soon hizo vitu ziki happen itakuwa.
Yeah.
Torture.
So Safara number 1, wow.
You are a professor of economical torture.
Nyire Kegwire. Okay, sawa.
Karibu sana kwa show.
Thank you.
Tunakutaka sana juu.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here also and to at least nimekuona leo. Gosh.
Sikia sasa.
Kumbe wewe ni real. In person.
Gosh to you too. Mazi. Hii conversation ya wasi wana work Middle East.
Yes.
Where did you come to connect with it?
Okay, so so there is something on TikTok that people do for fun called going live on TikTok.
Yes.
Right? You go live and now you can have like 6 guests on your live and it's just people from different places, dunia mzima. And you can talk about literally anything from this to the other. At some point I did even a competition, international competition on live TikTok and all that. But then something came up, like before I even got my hands dirty, kwanza kusaidia watu wa Saudi and all those Arabic countries, I realized that there were a lot of Kenyan TikTokers on these live sessions that are literally in the Middle East. Wengi sana.
Okay.
And it's because, number one, that's the only chance they have to connect with watu wa home. Hiyo ni moja. Ya pili, it's a way of releasing stress. Right? So they will be there. Utakutana nao mpaka hadi saa 9 ya usiku. Saa 10 huko. Just people on their beds, but ako live TikTok.
Ukisema hivyo najua PS wa interior anauliza wao ufanya kazi saa ngapi.
They do work.
PS wa foreign affairs.
They do work.
Yeah.
Ukipata time tu kidogo when you're now resting for your 2 hours. Some of them even do wanafanya kazi yao while they are on live TikTok. Yeah.
Yes.
And I realized that there is ni wengi, number one. So inawasaidia na stress, inawasaidia na connect na watu nyumbani.
Yeah.
Then on this particular evening, I think this was a month of me realizing that there were a lot of people in Middle East huko Warabuni wenye wako on live TikTok. And also my fans are very good load of the ones who type ha 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 wako huko. I mean, it's comic relief. They're happy that unaona mtu amekuandikia hapo, I had a very bad day. Thank you for making me laugh. So you're like, yeah, awesome. At least I served my purpose.
Yes.
Kidogo. So I got, so if he's gonna be live on TikTok,
Yes.
he will share to me, to you, to all these other people.
Yes.
So
yes.
I kept seeing a couple of people sharing a particular live from one person. Alvan, ebu ingia live. Literally, it was this girl. She was in Lebanon, who had kemboid. I don't know kama mnajua kukemboid kufanya nini. Like running away from Jobo penye alikuwa.
Yes.
And it's because, number one, okay, she had worked there for at least a year in this family. And I mean, nyumba zenye wanafanya kazi kwazo niga ifafa mwadhani what? Like 1 person 4 floors. Okay?
Yes.
Unaamka asubuhi unaanzia juu. Unaosha kila kitu, vyombo you have to cook at the same time, blah 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 blah. So if you try to show that umechoka ama you are angry because ama on top of that, these guys are speaking to you in a language that you don't understand. And if you don't get that she's asking you ama wanahitaji Waiguru ama Waitito, those are the words that they use. Waiguru I think is the man, Waitito no, it's the other way around.
Even ndio wanaita wadosi wao.
Wadosi wao. So kuna Waiguru na Waitito. Yeah. Those are the names. So kama Waiguru amekuambia uende umletee pan na amekuambia you know like you're supposed to know what that means.
Yes.
Usiposhika you know it's not, there are some bosses who are just absolutely nonsensical. What our chapa, they slap them, mangumi, sijui what. So this girl that I was being shared live yake, she had kemboid, she had run away from a family that she worked for a whole year. Na hiyo siku alilimwa.
Kulimwa gani?
See you.
No, sorry. I just need to clarify. Okay.
Alipigwa.
Because nilisikia hata hiyo ingine ni another conversation.
Yeah, but they're also when you wanakuanga raped.
Yes.
Okay? That's horrible.
Yes.
Okay, go in.
Yes.
Saizi, like, I'm even afraid to go because I opened up a WhatsApp group and it has like 1,200 of watu wenye wako huko. So the horror stories that are in there, they're terrible. So msichana,
the first highlight ni udem that alikuwa
anahepa. Ametoka kulimwa. She managed to get into the room, akachukua phone yake, akajifanya anapeleka takataka nje ya nyumba.
Sawa. Shikilia tu hapo. We are coming back with Alvan after this short commercial break. Atumalizie hapo kwa. See you guys in a bit. Deep inside, my imagination is running wild with questions like, how much is a sperm donor paid in Kenya?
From 500,000 and above, that is just the compensation.
Siku hizi watu wabai kitu ndani, that's the challenge. In fact, that's partly where the question is coming from.
How can drop? Direct.
Umeenda through hiyo nini yote, umeacha specimen yako hapo alafu hakuna mtu anaitaka.
How do you elect a sperm to fertilize an egg? Because I'm sure you don't pour them on the eggs that yote hivi kama blueband.
Unapata umewekewa magazine.
A monkey has to be choked.
An assignment.
That donors don't have fun.
If it's the act alone, man, you're having fun, so
There's no extras that is happening.
Welcome back to the weekend edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. Tuko na Alvan Love. Tunataka kudiscuss tuone how much light we can shed kwa history ya Middle East. On the first part of the show tulikuwa tumemalizia hapo kwa.
Yeah, so this girl has just run away from the home she's worked in for a whole year. Na she's on the streets, she's running.
Yeah.
She had some data. Na alikuwa on live TikTok telling guys, I need people who wako Lebanon who can help me out. So someone shared the live, so I got on. The thing about when I go live, I will probably have, you know, a larger number of people on my live TikTok because of the following. So with that little influence that I have hapo, I managed to ask, guys, nani yako Lebanon? Right? And I got about 20 people. Some of them were an hour away, 20 minutes away, 45 minutes away, depending on like a taxi ride. So we are on one side talking with this lady, right? Because I got her number now from the live, and also trying to talk to the people who are around her. Ndio akuwe rescued. Now, what happens is that she runs, akakutana na Msudanese pahali, ndio apate wifi. She ran out of data. Huyo Msudanese akamfungulia, ndio akamsaidia na wifi, na alikuwa anashinda akimwambia ingia bafu uoge. So dem anajiuliza, naulizwa niingie kwa bafu kwa nini? I just wanted wifi. So she's afraid, she's young. She's 22 years old. She's afraid sababu huo Msudanese alirudi akatoka na akafunga gate. Dem akafungiwa ndani. And the guy kept calling some other guy wakiwa tu hapo wakimwambianga akuje. So she felt like she was really in danger. So I managed
this time you're following this live?
Yes, I'm doing live, and at the same time I'm like trying to get all the help I can using my phone on WhatsApp and the people who we are talking to wenye wako karibu. It took us, ilikaa mpaka to jioni late, up to like 7:30. It was getting dark, also on her side, and then eventually we got this other lady who managed, I think she was 20 minutes from where she was. Akachukua cab kutoka huko, akapatiwa gari na bosi yake. Na dereva. So they went to look for this girl. Now remember, udema amefungiwa ndani ya nyumba, si ndio?
Yeah.
Amefungiwa ndani ya compound. Ule jamaa Msudanese akarudi, akafungua, na walikuwa wangapi? Wawili. And akozea ingia ndani uoge, as in get in and shower. It's like, I don't need to shower. She pretended in a way like she wanted to check something outside.
Yeah.
Alipopita tu hivi gate mbio. She ran. Now remember, wifi imekatika. She doesn't have airtime either. Na data imekatika. How do we get her? Fortunately, we had managed, alikuwa ameongea na ule mwenye alikuwa 20 minutes away, long enough to know the general location na pin walikuwa wametumiana. So she's literally on the streets na mcall. She's on the streets na anatafuta hawa wa Kenya wenzake. Right? And for some very good chance and what do you call inaitwa nini hiyo? Kismat ama ni
Serendipity. Na
serendipity hapana. I think it's just God. They saw each other kwa barabara. Where are you nani? I am nani. Ni wewe ulikuwa unatafuta. They went they sent me a photo wakiwa kwa cab. And since then she's been safe.
okay.
With this lady. She's staying there. She left her passport. She left her clothes. She left all her documents. And going back to that other home, this is the danger of doing that. Usually ukijaribu kurudi huko, boss anaweza kuitia polisi and they will put up a fictitious story.
Yeah.
Or a fake story kwamba uliiba ama whatever, ufungishwe. Na ukishafungishwa kutoka huko ni nani anakujua? Sababu madem hata wakijaribu kupigia agent mwenye aliwapeleka huko ni blue ticks na matusi. Embassies za hizi nchi zenye ziko huko nje, they are absolutely useless. I will say to their faces, useless embassies.
Aya, na ukisema
Yes.
hivyo, you say that one of the girls who went to rescue her had been given a car by her boss.
Yes.
So does this mean that there are good bosses in the same Middle East countries?
I don't want to look at the good bosses. I want to look at the people who are dying. That's where my focus is. Because I'll tell you why I'm on that side. Chepkemoi, when she was coming here, Alipoland, there was a bunch of other girls who were leaving. But on the same plane, akikuja, was a body bag of msichana amekufa akiwa wapi? Huko.
Yeah.
Now, the things that lead them to death is bad bosses, malnutrition, being overworked, underpaid. Unasikia dem ati ametoka Kenya, ulichukuliwa na ka-agent hapa mtaa, si ndio? Kakwambia, hey, we'll sort you, unapatiwa contract. Unaona, hey, hii ni poa, oh my gosh, nitakuwa na earn sijui 50k per month. Hiyo ilikuwa ya kufunga macho ukitoka hapa. The moment you land to the other side, hiyo inachukuliwa, unapatiwa Kiarabu. Unajua vile imeandikwa? Agent anakuambia, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We're signing to hapa. Kumbe saa hizo, what you're actually signing is like a modern day slavery kind of document. It's called kafala. They call it kafala, where you are literally sold to a household and they go up to 2M, from 1.5 to 2M.
And who gets this 2M kwanza?
Yes, the agents, there's like a whole process of ni agents, na sijui, ni chafu.
They are technically buying people.
Yes, they are buying people. So now, jaribu kama this girl that we were saving in Lebanon, jaribu kutoka. They would never let you go. Because
they own you.
They own you. And if you try to leave, watajaribu kukuplead uende ufanye kazi kwa nyumba ya labda ya mama ya mdosi. But you should never leave that family. The moment you start saying you want to leave, hapo ndio shida uanza. Au ulimwa, unafungiwa kwa room for like 4 days without food and water. Ndio uko na phone, like my phone is constantly blowing up on evenings. Aki Alvan, wengine wamefungiwa. So this is the thing. Si agent alikula do. Alikula hizo do. Unataka kutoka, agent unamcall na kuambia wewe fanya kazi, kwani ulikuja kufanya nini huku? Sababu alishadhagumia the money for the slaveries. Yes. So if you try to call the agent, anakuambia nini? Try to call the embassy, kuna jamaa. Can I drop names?
Please.
Anaitwa Juma. Is a devil in horns. With horns. No, do not. Ni mbaya. That guy even chapas, and he works in one of the embassies za huko. Yeye ulimambaka hawa madem kuwa chapa.
Na kama umeadvocate for his story for this long, tunaona story ya Diana Chepkemoi and others, but still others are going. Then does it mean tunafaa tuache status quo remain world iendelee kukua vile iko, ama there is something that can be done? And I understand that you had actually created a group, bringing them together to see if, like a union sort of.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. What happened to that?
Now, number one, there's factors to people who work at the Gulf, at least the group that I was able to put together.
Yes.
This is almost 1,200 with, of course, extra wenye wanajuana. So everyone is sharing my number. You can get help through. So my work is to connect you with someone who is close to you, or to connect with some authority that can help you close to you and get you out of trouble when you need to get out. So what are we trying to say? These people who have been locked in their houses for like 4 years, for 4 months. Kuna wengine wamefungiwa kwa agencies, 6 months wako huko. Chakula ni once, so maybe sometimes even twice a week. Sababu haezi kuachilia uende home. So lazima alipe pesa, ile family ilitoa, ndio uachiliwe uende home. So unafungiwa na agent.
So ile family ikilipa pesa, the one of yenye agent alikula,
yes.
Who pays their salary?
Mdosi ndio ulipa.
Also mdosi anakubai tu kwa agent,
yes.
But there is a fee they have
yes.
to pay you every month.
And please note, these girls are now literally sitting there with salaries of 17k a month. Na tulienda kufanya whatever huko.
Na wakitoka huko wanajuanga wanaendeanga.
Waliendanga wakijuanga ni salo ya inaweza saidia familia.
But the people who enable this work on this other side of the Middle
East. It's from here to there. So there's the cartel of agencies here, and then there's a cartel of agencies that side. So huyu anaenda anakuuza, huyu anakuuza kwa famu. So kabla hiyo pesa irudi, sitakuwa ngori.
So kuna madem hata sahi wanapanga wanatafuta opportunities za kwenda huko. So what's in it for them? Because when you post that question unaulizwa, what do you have for them back home? So wewe wenye umedeal na watu wana go through that experience, what do you say to them?
Ufala, please don't go. It's not worth it.
You'd rather get married?
Don't go. You'd rather get married, I don't know. Sababu, imagine home, hapa, they are not dying na hawateswi. There's some dignity. There's some dignity in the life that we live as Kenyans. Even though hatuna ma jobs. Do you get it? You will, I don't know, someone will, uwezi kosa mboga hapa na kaugali pale, omba mtu, utaishi tu if it's that bad. Do you get it?
Yes.
But kwenda huko where you get to the point where you're sold into modern slavery, you are beat if you mess up, you are locked up in rooms for days, because you said you want to go home and your contract is ending. That is not dignity. And it has proved fatal. Body bags are coming. People are, watu wanarudi na ndege wakiwa kwa cargo. Body bags, washakufa. I don't feel like it is worth it. And I think, Ingori, the thing I would tell Kenyans right now, every mother, every auntie, every shosho, if you hear that your daughter wants to go to some of these Arabic countries, imagine, please don't let them. Let's save our children first before.
It does not make sense.
It doesn't make sense because the percentage of people when you are kofiti is lower than the ones who are not.
And that's true on the ground.
Yes.
A reply from the government side, wanasema, kwanza there's a time a government official thanked Saudi Arabia for offering job opportunities to Kenyans. Then tena to counter the narrative, tena the government side wakasema ati it's our girls who are misbehaving uko.
It will be turned around against you. Of course, the moment you tell your boss that you want to leave, it will be turned around against you. Maybe an incident, 1 or 2, ya ukiwa mboch, ukiwa house help ama house tech, ukavaa nguo ya mdosi kama wameenda, ukaiweka TikTok. Right?
Okay.
1, there are very few incidences. But the majority and the most weight is on how these girls are treated by the bosses.
Okay.
You get it? Mimi nitawatetea because I've been with them. Tumekuwa tunabonga every day. But the issue is, the moment you want to stand up and say you want to leave, unaekelewa kikesi.
I believe that's a beginning of many conversations to come. Si story ya kumaliza in one day. Otherwise, thank you for the information. Thank you for the good work that you're doing. They can still reach out to you. Ama network yako imejaa. Yeah.
Saizi, niko na, it's a lot of work because, again, I'm doing this by myself without anyone's help. So it's I do the Kingori, I do the best that I can, one after the other.
Na reaching out to the, I think, Ministry of Labor something.
Wakichukua simu
tutaongea nao. Kuna process
nao.
ya kutengeneza petition na kitu kama hiyo. We can follow that. Tunaweza anza from scratch. I believe there is a procedure.
Maybe we can but I feel like if we made enough noise, they will start moving without someone having to call them and say, we are trying to move this to go somewhere. I mean, these girls are dying. Do you care? That's the question I'm going to ask.
I do. Do they? Anyway, wapi makofi ya Alvan? Asante sana kwa kuja show yetu. Karibu tena na tena.
Thanks.
Asante. That's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.